This proposal is aimed to address Goal 14. This proposal is aimed to address life below water, Goal 14 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. From here, I chose to focus on Target 14.1. By 2025, prevent and significantly reduce marine pollution of all kinds, in particular from land-based activities, including marine debris and nutrient pollution. I began researching this problem by first looking at the general ocean pollution. What is it and where does it come from? I investigated these issues through internet research as well as interviewing those on the forefront. I interviewed the general public as well as a representative of Jellyfish Plastics, a local Perth organisation working to limit ocean pollution. This gave me an insight into individual responsibility and what we as individuals are doing each day that are impacting our environment. I also wanted to consider this problem on a commercial level by looking at large companies and how they manage waste. This led me to an interview with Trident Shipping, an examination of how they manage their waste at sea. From here, I devised that this was neither an individual or a commercial problem, but a combination of both, and thus the solution lay in targeting both ends of the scale. With marine pollution being such a broad issue, I felt it best to focus on one specific form of ocean pollution. My research led me to discover that most plastic in the ocean comes from down the drain. I then examined what is going through my own drain and the problem of synthetic materials and microplastic. During my investigation, I analysed a number of different solutions to this problem. I looked at devices available and examined what made them successful or unsuccessful. I considered designing my own device, such as a sink fitting that catches these particles, or investigating new clothing materials. However, the problem that I continued to face was that even if I were to develop a prototype that exceeded the ones that already exist, it would still face the same fate. That is, few people would use it. The goal is thus not to create a perfect solution for a small amount of people, but to create an imperfect solution for many. The final solution was thus to make these devices accessible to everyday people, bringing them to Kmart, while also targeting the use of synthetic materials on a commercial level by encouraging the company to gradually introduce alternative materials. I believe targeting such a large company with this proposal is a positive step for reducing microfiber release, as it makes these devices, as well as sustainable clothing, accessible to everyday people. In doing so, it brings the topic of microfibers into everyday lives, spreading awareness and getting people thinking about their environmental impact. Furthermore, it means that there is now a market for these products in Australia, which can then lead to further innovations and the rise of Australian-owned alternatives. There are, however, negatives to this proposal, and the largest of which is the financial burden of bringing these products to Australia, and the high costs associated with purchasing them. Further, convincing such a large company to make such a drastic change has its own obstacles. However, with the Better Cotton initiative, Kmart has shown a desire to improve its ethics, and I believe that with public pressure they might continue to do so. This proposal could be further improved by finding ways to reduce the cost, both of the devices and of the investment. The next step is thus sending a letter to Kmart and beginning to petition for the company to make a change, spreading the word and rallying the local community to create public pressure for this proposal.